Hi, Amber Michelle here, and today I'm going to talk about something that might be considered perhaps a little bit controversial, but I do want to say that I'm definitely not here to offend anybody. It's just something that I'm really passionate about, and I feel it's really important to just put this message out there for people. And so today I'm going to talk about why I choose to be child-free. I do want to give a few little disclaimers before we move forward, and one is that I'm not here to tell anyone else what to do or how to live your life. I'm not here to judge. If you really want to have kids or you have kids and you're a great parent and you really love that life, then you do you. More power to you there. I also want to mention that we want to be careful when we go around and ask, when are you having kids, or why don't you have kids, and things like that, because just want to be sensitive to recognizing that although I'm child-free by choice, not everyone is. There are definitely people out there who really, really want to have children and for whatever reason haven't so far been able to. So that can be a sensitive thing for people. So I just say, I encourage everyone to be mindful when inquiring about such things to people. So you said, moving forward, again, I'm not here to tell anyone else what to do. I'm mostly making this video to share my own reasons and my own choices for why I personally choose a child-free lifestyle and create more understanding around it. I'm also here to help make the topic seem less taboo and let women especially, but really women and men, know that they have a choice in the matter. You don't have to always follow the status quo. You don't always have to, get married, get a house, and have 2.5 kids, and build a career, and go to college, and do all these things exactly the way that maybe society or people around you might be expecting you to do, or you might feel pressure to do things in a certain way. So, it's really, I encourage you to, channel your own intuition and really look deep within about your answers to these questions. And, if you really desire to have children and build a family, or if maybe there's something else that you would prefer to do. So anyway, disclaimer aside, here are the reasons, and they're not in any particular order, but here are the reasons why I choose not to have children and to live a child-free lifestyle. Number one is freedom. And this is probably, even though these aren't in a particular order, if I had to pick a particular number one reason or motivation for me to choose child-free, it is probably this one, although some of the others come really close. This might sound selfish, it might sound like the wrong reason, but you know what? This is one of my reasons. One of my main reasons is freedom. I like my life the way it is. I like to be able to sleep when I want to sleep. I want to be able to go where I want to go. It gives me more freedom in my career, which I'll talk about later. It gives me more freedom to, to help others. If somebody calls and they need me to cover a class for them at the studio or something, like, sometimes I'm already busy, but I don't have to find a sitter. I don't have to, deal with where am I gonna put these kids. I can just, if I'm not busy, I can just go and help them with that. I also can take really good care of myself. I can spend time with my fur babies, my cats, and I think it makes me a better partner in some ways, a better friend. Not to say that people who have kids aren't good partners or aren't good friends or whatever, but I feel like it helps me be more available and show up in other areas of my life. And, I like to have possibilities. I like to wake up each day and feel like my life is full of endless, limitless possibilities. I can go or do or be whatever I want to do or be, and the sky's the limit, and I don't have anything holding me back or anchoring me down or keeping me in a certain place or limited anyway. And I know, again, for some people that kids might not be a limitation, but for me, I feel like they would be. I like to do what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, where I want to do it, and you get my drift. And I just like the freedom to be able to spend my time the way that I want to spend it, and for my time to be mine so that I can be a happy person. And there's nothing wrong with that, because the world can use more happy people, because the more happy people there are out there, the more happy people are more apt to helping others, are more apt to just spreading joy and happiness out into the world. So, you know, why not make the world a joyful place? I don't think, it might sound selfish, I don't think it's a bad thing, and I don't apologize for it, and you shouldn't have to either if that's your choice. Number 2. This is almost number 1, to be honest. Like, this is a big one too. No pregnancy, please. You know how it works? Like, I personally, the thought of having someone in my body, someone I don't even know, like, in my body, living off of me for 9 months, and carrying that around, having a big old belly, having a sore back, being limited in my emotions and what I can do, and what activities I can do, and carrying that around, it just doesn't sound appealing to me. I hate going to doctors. I'm a very modest person. Yeah, I just don't feel like that it just doesn't work with my personality attributes, and nothing about that sounds fun to me. And also, you know, how it ends. I don't want to push something like that out of that, if that makes sense. Giving birth just sounds like something terrifying to me, to be quite honest. And to those of you who have gone through it, you know, in some ways I give you props, because I'm terrified to do it. And kudos to you for, like, having the bravery to go through that. At the same time, I feel like there are other ways I can be brave if I want to. So I'm just gonna skip that, because it just doesn't appeal to me. Okay, and then there are financials. From my understanding, raising a child is pretty much one of the most expensive things you can do. And to be honest, I'm not so sure that we can afford it. I know I sure as hell can't, and honestly, would it be responsible for me to bring a child into the world that I may or may not have the means to care for? And yes, I can go to the government and get stuff like through there, which is fine, and I'm glad those programs are there for people who need it. But you know, I'd rather not. I'd rather not feed into that system any more than I absolutely have to. So you know, I think I'm just gonna pass on that and use my money more for things that I actually really want to do and care about, like traveling and funding my future, being able to contribute and hopefully in the future make donations to people and causes that I care about. But yeah, it's pretty expensive, and I don't want to go into further debt, and I don't want to raise a child that wouldn't be able to have a really awesome life financially. And then there's the environment. And you know, I'm not saying that you can't raise a child responsibly or to be sustainable and to be a good person and to give back to society, because I know people who are doing that, and I think that's wonderful. At the same time, you know, we have, what, 7 billion people on the planet right now? I think people are procreating enough already. I don't think it's necessary for me to bring another little junior Amber into the world necessarily. You know, I think we have enough population. I don't think we're having a human scarcity problem. I think we're having more of a sources problem, that the planet not maybe being able to so well uphold what we're doing to the environment as a species, as humans. And I'm going to quote Jenny Mustard. She put it really well. To quote Jenny Mustard, she said, "There's only so much humanity that this planet can take, and we are way past that breaking point." So I think there are many other ways that I can and would prefer to contribute to the world. So yes, you know, I said freedom was one of my main reasons, and maybe that sounds selfish, and you know, whatever, but I also, you know, I don't plan to necessarily just sit around on vacation all day for my whole life either. You know, I feel like not having children has really freed me up to be able to pursue other things that I would like to do to help improve the world or to help people in other ways. I really like that I'm able to, you know, potentially help people through yoga and meditation and breathing techniques, and help people find natural tools to deal, you know, ways to manage stress and different things that might be going on with them, or even just little aches and pains they have. You know, I like to be able to come on here and have time to make videos and to hopefully further promote veganism and sustainable living practices, and encourage people to just be their healthiest, greatest versions of themselves, and whatever that means to them. So I feel like there are other ways I can contribute, not to mention also monetarily. Maybe I can help contribute in that way in the future to causes that I care about. I feel like there are just so many other things that I have to offer and to put out there. And I want to continue to grow this YouTube channel. It might sound silly, but I don't care. Like, it's always been a dream of mine, especially lately, to really, you know, inspire people. Just like I see so many people on here and in real life and everywhere just that inspire me so much. And, you know, maybe one day I can put out, you know, keep creating content and inspire millions, and create a really positive effect in the world in that way. So, and I feel like there are other ways too that I might not even thought of yet, that I could do things. And not having children, I feel, has just maybe freed me up. Not to mention that, you know, having children can be a contribution, but that I just want to bring to point that having children is not the only way for women or just people in general to contribute to society. So if you want to have children, great, but, you know, if you don't, there are so many other ways that we can give back, that we can help each other, that we can help our planet, that we can help animals, that we can, there's so much, the sky's the limit, there's so many things we can do. So, you know, and I just see myself more drawn towards those other things, towards helping people through my YouTube videos, towards helping people through my teaching of yoga, my teaching of Reiki, bringing more healers into the world, and things like that. And you can find whatever that is for you. Maybe there's a cause you want to volunteer for. Go out and do it. Why not? Find what you're passionate about, what you really care about, and you can put your heart into that. And maybe that is raising your children, but I'm just saying that's not the only way that we can contribute to society. Okay, minimalism. So I like to say I'm on a minimalist journey, if you will. I know some people may or may not actually consider me like a minimalist, but the beauty of minimalism is that it can be defined however you want to define it. And it's basically, to me, it's a way of living with intention and keeping only the things in my life that really bring value and letting go of the things that don't. So in the interest of simplifying things, I don't really feel like kids fit that well into that. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. Okay, yeah, so I've never really had a maternal desire. You know, they say, you know, as you get older, eventually you'll get baby fever, or you'll get that sort of desire to procreate or have babies. And I'm 35 now, and that's never happened. I've never gotten that desire to have children. I don't feel attracted to children, really. Like, I see kids, I don't mind them. I don't really know what to do with them, especially babies. And I think, like, I feel much more connected to animals and to my cats. Like, I feel like they're cuter, honestly. And again, that's just me, but I feel like they're cuter, and I feel much more of a draw and much more nurturing towards them than I ever could towards a baby. I just don't really like babies that much, and I'm probably gonna get some hate for saying that, but it is what it is. I like kittens better than babies. Oh well. That's just me. But I've never had any desire. It just never happened. Ever since I was a kid, I haven't really had it, and it's never come, and I'm okay with it. I'm just going to ride the wave of it and go along with that and trust that intuitive feeling that I just don't feel any desire to be a mother, to have kids. And honestly, I don't think I would be a very good parent. I just don't know that I have the patience, or the there are just different aspects to my personality that I feel make me not the greatest parent. And I'd rather not have a kid than bring a kid into the world who I resent, or to bring in an unwanted child into the world. I just don't see any good coming out of that. So, yeah. Anyway, those are my reasons for being child-free. I hope this maybe brought up some thoughts for you, and I just always encourage people to question it. Question, what do you really want out of your life? What do you feel connected to? And, you know, if you get up in the morning and think about having kids or any other major decision, and you're like, hell yeah, go for it. But if you're like, I don't really know, maybe think about it. And if you're like me, you're like, hell no, then don't worry about what other people think or say about it, because ultimately, this is my body, this is my life, and it's your body and your life. You choose. If having kids is something that you feel would just make you so happy and bring so much joy to your life, and you think you could really do some good and create some really awesome human beings into the world, then go for it. Do you. But if you don't, if you're feeling like, man, I just feel like I'd be resenting it, or I'd be miserable, or it'd be a burden, or it'd weigh me down, or keep me from fully living my life, you don't have to have kids. It is okay. It doesn't make you selfish. It doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a smart person who took the time to think about it and make a responsible decision and choice. If you have any questions, I feel like people are going to comment on this one. You want to leave them in the comments below. Try to keep it nice. I'm trying to be cool about it. And I hope this was interesting to you. I will see you soon. Peace.